All right. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for my beautiful sisters, Alyssa and Tina, who are here, who um, we've just been on a journey together in Soul Work Live and, um, spending time together in Cabo with our Soul Work family. Was just a beautiful experience. And so welcome if you're catching the replay, which I feel like most of you are, because this is kind of a weird time. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your trust, and thank you for your curiosity. So yeah, let's kind of start to ground into this virtual space together. You can close the eyes, straighten the spine, if it feels good for you, if you have the space to do that. And just start to notice the breath. See if you can feel the inhale come in through the nose. And lengthen the exhale slowly out through the mouth. 2 more really calm breaths just coming into this space together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And just start to check in and ask yourself, how are you feeling at this point in the day? Maybe you have a lot going on in your world. And that cue to just check in with the breath, it brings you right back in to this deeper presence, this connection to self. And I want to kind of open up this space, determined devotion, this masterclass idea that kind of came to me. Devotion is this path that I have found myself on, and it has opened up the most beautiful experiences of healing in my life. And I'm feeling like there's this clarity on my path forward of being a woman in business, being a woman who accepts more money, more power back into her body after years of trauma. There is this kind of cyclical nature of coming back into this grounded power where I want to continue to water the seeds that are planted. And so this determined devotion is not only a space to come into prayer, to come into meditation, and to come into a bit of conscious discussion, but this is my commitment to opening up a path for myself and for you being here to witness that. I have to say thank you from the depth of my heart for you being here, for witnessing me, for seeing me put myself in vulnerability to step into a new era. It's scary, but it feels so good to be a little scared, to be a little nervous as you try to cultivate this new era of power in yourself. And so thank you for your trust. Thank you. Thank you. And so part of this devotion, this path of devotion, has come from my experiences in plant medicine ceremonies. And there has been a long path of maybe a connection to spirit or consciousness or God that has been evolving through childhood to now for me personally. And I want to feel this confidence in expressing my story so that others can begin to question or maybe put together a new era of connection with God, with spirit for themselves. And so coming from a background of a Southern Baptist church where I was sitting in the pews of church every Sunday wearing, these very long, dresses, which were beautiful and they kind of carried a certain level of respect, as you're walking around in your long dress and you're covered and you're singing, the godly songs. And then you get a little bit older, and as a woman, you start to see this shift in power in the Southern Baptist culture. And so this kind of loss of power in growing up in a Southern Baptist church came into, my subconscious, where I started programming myself to maybe not be as worthy of this connection to spirit, not being worthy of this connection to God, because men were represented with more power. It wasn't equal. And so last October in 2023, I spent time with the Inga culture in Colombia, and I witnessed and felt in my body devotion among an entire culture in plant medicine. I witnessed healers navigating their subconscious, navigating their trauma, navigating all of these pieces that can carry us all the way with grace through devotion. And so in that moment in October, I think this masterclass was born there, Determined Devotion. Because when you put yourself forward, be it in business, be it in your family, your community advocating for others, it is prayer and a connection with God, with spirit, with this consciousness within yourself that carries you in a deeper level of devotion. And so I'd like to offer a prayer for this community that comes together in determined devotion. Maybe you bring the palms together and start moving the palms, creating this warmth in between the hands. And then bring the hands into prayer, hands, or in yoga, Namaskar Mudra, this ultimate sign of respect. And you close your eyes if you can. You let the shoulders relax, let the body relax, lift the crown. And beyond your physical experience, lifting up into this connection with the stars, the universe, God. Giving thanks. Thank you so deeply from the bottom of my heart for the pieces of my journey that have brought me on this path into a space of healing, into a space of being more deeply present for my family, for my community. Let my ancestors be here with me as I step into this new era, as I support and move into this new iteration of power, money within my business, in my family. And may those who walk beside me, my sisters, my brothers, may they be guided in depth with me. And maybe you call in your ancestors with your hands connected softly, but you feel the energy in your hands, this position of prayer. You lift the eyes up under the eyelids a little toward the center, the forehead, the third eye in yogic philosophy, this ajna chakra space. The eyes are lifted. And think of your ancestors' names, the ones who have walked before you, the ones who didn't make it as far as you have. They have given you so many gifts, and they have suffered so much pain, as this experience is always a balancing act. And may we walk forward on this path of devotion together in the upcoming year ahead of us. And may we have this deep connection with Spirit, with God, knowing that when we falter, when we feel nervous, when we feel fear, we can close our eyes and come here, and it is safe. And there is a well of support just waiting for you to be present. May we be protected, and may we lead from the heart always. And then I say, Namaste. To all of you here on this path of devotion and this connection, thank you. It is the greatest gift to feel that connection. It can take just a moment to tap in and change this whole there's this shift in your body. You feel it. You feel this connection to Spirit, and then you're ready. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to hold more power, to hold more money. And I say money in this path of devotion because I've been really deeply hitting these topics where I want to hold money so I can support others on this path. And the more I get comfortable holding money and making big decisions with larger amounts of money, I think the bigger the impact can be sometimes. When you're willing to make a big investment on a new venture in supporting nonprofits, if you're willing to hold more money to help your family, there is this block sometimes. Women especially have just not had access to holding money for as long as men have. And I think that this path of devotion is opening up to more money. And so that's why that comes in. It's like you want to coach yourself almost sometimes. Like you become the coach within. Like you tap into that connection to spirit. You know money comes to you and money moves through you. You feel it in your body and you let yourself say these little mantras in love. Money comes to me, money moves through me. And you can even feel it. You can feel it if you want to even lift your hands up, if you want to practice with me. Money comes to me, money moves through me. So I also think that it's important to move in fluidity through this concept, this path of devotion, of stepping into this holding of power to holding more money. And so you start to get it. And then there's this ego trap sometimes when you start to get these pieces and it comes in and you start to feel like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing, really well. I can kind of like maybe cut back on my practices a little bit. I'm not gonna get up for yoga in the morning because, like I want to sleep in. I've got some money. I don't really have to work that hard today. I'm just gonna, you know, take a few days off. And it's good that self-care, sometimes you need it, and sometimes it's showing up when you don't want to, showing up when you don't feel well, showing up when you are extra vulnerable. That, you know, these really magical lessons come up. And for example, I'm thinking of, you know, uh, my nephew. I love him. He's 16. He's a boy. I mean, he's, you know, a teenager. He's has a girlfriend and they went to work out today and he calls me right as I'm in the middle of this deep meditation and I have them on bypass on my phone. So the phone call comes through and there's this irritation that comes up. Like I've been distracted from my meditation. I'm taking this time for myself. Like, how dare this distraction come in and take me out of this beautiful meditation? And then he asked me for a ride on the phone. And I realized, oh, it's not always about me. It's not always about, you know, me wanting to have this set routine where I can get into, my meditation before I set up for this masterclass. Devotion means when someone that you love comes into your field and needs something, even if it's, a small phone call or a small ride, that is devotion. When you show up, when you sacrifice certain things, it's like a spiritual payment almost. So I feel like we've moved in to this new kind of phase. I've gotten, you know, into a place of talking about what devotion means to me. And I kind of want to maybe ask, since I have some beautiful sisters here, what devotion, you know, means for you. If you feel comfortable sharing, it would be beautiful just to kind of hear um, a little bit of discourse on it.
Yeah, I would love to share. First, thank you so much for opening the space and showing up um, in devotion, and especially, uh, I think for me, you've already articulated it's showing up when it's not always easy. I think as I've evolved my own connection to God, how whatever that entity of divinity is, it's hard to define because it's all of us. It's everything. It is and more than I could even imagine. Um, and I think as I've really started to connect deeper with it in a relationship, realizing that devotion to me means seeing that, like being open to seeing it within each being, each person, each environment that I go into, each interaction, and starting to see that, acknowledge it, and like extend or have gratitude for that, for whatever it is, even in the more challenging moments, even, like when we're disrupted from what we expect our day to go like, or etc. It's saying, okay, well, it's a new opportunity, and what can I receive out of that? um and the balancing of like choosing to show up for it, and choosing to say like, yes, I am taking my practice time for to in service to others, or this meal that I'm preparing for myself, it is like when you today, like in connection with my partner, and like this is devoted time together to like loving and seeing each other in that. So for me it's like reciprocity in so many ways, and being open to all of it.
Oh, that was so beautiful, Alyssa. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I like that. The connection, in partnership with food, it's devotion, Every piece of it can be devotion when we slow down, when we tap in. And I just want to, even just kind of express this vulnerability and like saying it's being in, you know, a circle of women, even virtually. It's like, putting yourself out there and expressing your voice, you know, like that is just the deepest devotion for us to be here in circle together, virtually, for women to potentially, be receiving this, tomorrow. Like, thank you. Like, for listening, for really being vulnerable, because I feel like devotion is the path forward to freedom for me. I wanted to maybe add another little piece into this masterclass, and I called it a masterclass. I just want to be like fully transparent. I'm following this woman, Shoshana Raven is her name, and I did the 30 days of money march. And it's so funny, we get in our own heads sometimes about like, oh, I don't know if I can be like out there every day, or I'm not ready to do that. And then sometimes it's like you put yourself out there and then you figure it out as you go. I really liked that. She kind of, simplified some things. And so I had to shout out to her for that, because she got me to put myself out here. Um, I did want to kind of offer uh, a meditation portion, because opening up this space with prayer, being here, having, the conversation, and and expressing this devotion, it comes from the heart. And so I really wanted to offer, to everyone, just my heart in service to you, in service to your path, in service to your family. um, this meditation is one of my favorites, and so if you can kind of find that straight spine again, this is kind of the full circle, just coming in with that prayer, opening up what devotion means to you. Maybe you sit with and you journal what devotion means to you today. And then you come into this meditation to prepare to rest for the evening, to prepare to really slow down and regulate. And so you find that straight spine and the eyes close again. You notice the breath. Maybe you roll the shoulders back or make a few circles with the head. Any movement you need. Maybe you take Gyan Mudra. You let the pointer and thumb touch the palms open on the knees. And in yogic philosophy, you have the Anahata chakra or the heart chakra. This space, your heart. Maybe energetically, you think about this green light radiating around the heart. Or maybe visualization is a little tricky. Maybe you just think about the shape of a heart in general. And I think that the path of devotion continues to open up for the seeker who is ready to ask within, who am I? And so the crown is lifted, the eyes lift up under the eyelids. You feel this radiating light around the body, but more specifically, you come into this heart space, imagining this green light. Who am I? Oftentimes, a lot of things that come up are these self-defined labels. Well, I'm a mother, I'm a partner, I'm an aunt. Your career comes up. I'm a yoga teacher, I'm an analyst, I'm a dog mom. All the things come up, but beyond that, who am I? And so we'll go a little deeper by using the Brahmari pranayam or honeybee breath to begin to kind of open up some of the deeper layers of the heart chakra. And so imagining that green radiating light, or imagining your shape of the heart, whatever is working for you personally. We'll take a nice deep inhale together. Tongue comes to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth, and we exhale, we hum. One more inhale, full breath in, relax the shoulders. Tongue comes up to the roof of the mouth, exhale, we hum. Who am I? Letting that heart space open up to imagine what your life looks like in complete surrender to devotion. Because I can't know you better than yourself. And once you come in to this heart space, once you open up your heart chakra, what does that path of surrender look like for you? Who am I? Eyes lifted up under the eyelids kind of helps having that focus point with the eyes closed, the eyes lift up, taps you into that intuition within the third eye. Nice steady breaths. Slowing the breath down always. Noticing the pause, the top of the breath, the bottom of the breath. Who am I? You can hold one to that radiating green light within the heart, or this shape of the heart. Imagine this light expanding, coming out, reaching beyond your body, beyond the field of your body. Every interaction can be that potential to go deeper in devotion. And as you go deeper into devotion, there are so many doors that begin to open up for you. Who am I? And then you start to bring that light back in, knowing that you have the capacity to expand the heart. You have the capacity to bring this energy back in, all packaged safely in your heart. Held here, left side, the chest. Maybe you bring the hands up to the chest, holding the heart. Here, we have the opportunity to plant a seed. Deeper and more determined devotion. That determined devotion comes in when you show up day in, day out. For your family, for your community, for your students. Letting the hands rest, coming down, starting to flutter the eyes open. Maybe look around the room, taking in your surroundings, bringing yourself back to this space. And my call to action would be to journal this evening or just rest in the bed and keep holding on to this idea of devotion in the heart. May not look the same every day, but it's just so beautiful to be on this path of devotion with all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.